If you live in Europe or you work with European customers, you have probably heard about the so-called GDPR and the fear of getting an immense fine for not carefully treating customer data. Don't panic. In the next few minutes, I'll break down exactly what you need to stay compliant and protect your business. Plus, stick around until the end because there I'll share a free tool that makes this whole process a lot easier. First things first, if you have a website or you are building a website, you are probably asking yourself, do you need a privacy policy? In German, that's a so-called Datenschutzerklärung. The short answer is probably yes, because if you collect any kind of personal data, such as the name of your customer, the email address, or maybe customer preferences, if that's the case, you need a privacy policy because you store that personal data. And that's where GDPR applies. Of course, that only applies if your business is based in Europe or you are working mainly with European customers. So that's also important that GDPR not only applies if your business is in Europe, but also if you are working with European customers. So that could also apply for a Swiss business that is targeted for German clients, as an example. Why do you need a privacy policy and what does it need to contain? So, the privacy policy tells the visitors of your website or your customers exactly what kind of data you collect, why you collect it, and how you are going to keep the data safe. That should also be true. So, don't write anything into your privacy policy that is not true. Whether you run an online shop or coaching business or you use a newsletter sign up, you need to have a good privacy policy. Let's talk about this newsletter sign up, email marketing, an important topic for business owners. If you use the email sign up, you need explicit consent. Absolute gold standard is the so-called double opt-in. Here's how it works. The interested customer enters his or her email address on your website or on the newsletter tool. Then he or she will receive a confirmation email with a link that they want to receive your email, and then they click the link to confirm that they really want to receive your email and they are officially subscribed. Best case, your newsletter tool has a GDPR compliant confirmation process. Normally, the big tools do have that. So make sure that you add this to the process. For the newsletter, it's also necessary that there is an easy unsubscribe option for your customer. The next topic that is GDPR related is cookies. Who doesn't love cookies? But they are also tiny little data trackers on your website if you use them. If you use tools like Google Analytics or Facebook Pixel, or even it could even be embedded in your YouTube videos, you need a cookie banner that gives users the choice if they allow you to collect their data for the cookie. You have definitely seen this pop up where you are asked for your cookie preference. That's because GDPR requires websites to ask for consent before tracking the data of the visitors. The golden rule is always no unnecessary tracking without permission. So now your website should be ready with a privacy policy, a double opt-in of your newsletter feature, and a cookie banner if you track the data. But what about the data you already have? Treat the data, the personal data of your customers with the same care that you would treat your own data, which is hopefully with the highest care you can. So store customer data securely. What does that mean? Have a safe storage. Maybe you use a cloud system or any kind of other storage tool. Take care that you will use a good email tool, because especially if you use a third-party tool, you are also responsible to really find the best version that really takes care of the customer data. What will also be very helpful to use a strong password, maybe a password creator. Maybe you use an authenticator to really make sure that the data is safe. Limit access to this data if you work with a virtual assistant, for example, and that you delete the data if you do not longer need it. And now, as promised, the free tool is linked down in the description. That's a so-called privacy policy generator that is free, and this tool really helps you to generate a GDPR compliant privacy policy in seconds that can save you time and stress. But please be aware that you still, as always, I always say that as a disclaimer, you have to individualize it to your specific case. If you're still unsure, that's where your professional, your data privacy expert could come in to help you build or individualize a good privacy policy and maybe do a compliance check for your website. Because if you keep your customer data safe, that's a good foundation of trust with your customer. And if you have any questions or maybe video ideas, put them down in the description, and I am looking forward to the next video.